is back. King James reminding everyone why the Brow was brought to LA. He took to Instagram Wednesday in defense of his four-time All-NBA teammate. He said, "Get it twisted if you want to. In due time, he'll remind you once again why he's him, and I can't wait for it to be unleashed." Yesterday, AD posted a picture of him working with well-known shooting coach, Lethal Shooter. Jay Will, what would a healthy AD, talking healthy AD.
Like giving me a minimum, 65, 70 games?
Yeah, healthy AD, right?
Yeah.
Mean for this Lakers squad as presently constructed?
As presently constructed, I think it gets them in the playoffs. I think it gets them in the playoffs. I think they need to make additional moves with shooters and some 3-and-D to help them go next level. But I'm not going to sit up here on national TV and tell you that with Anthony Davis being on the court, with the protection he can provide, with the rim protection, with the shot-making ability that he brings to the table with LeBron James, and listening to Darvin Ham over the last couple of weeks, I think you're going to see a different style of pace played with the Lakers, different than what you saw with Frank Vogel. You know, Frank Vogel was a little bit less demonstrative in the locker room. Darvin will hold people accountable. I think he will challenge a guy like Russ to step up to the table defensively, to push the ball in different instances on the court, especially second-hand transition, pick up the tempo of the game. I think if this team is defensively locked in, even though I know teams like Memphis, teams like Denver, teams like the Clippers will be there at the end of the day when it counts, but I still think with a healthy Anthony Davis, with LeBron James playing, even though he's been in the league, feels like for 20 years coming up. It is 20 years. It is 20 years. With the numbers that he puts up, if they can implement Russ the right way, they'll make the playoffs. And I think they're a couple of pieces away from actually being in the NBA Finals again.
Wow.
I don't disagree. There's a couple of things that I feel, though. And Jay, stay with me on this.
Okay.
JJ and I got into it the other day because I said, when healthy, we talking fantasy here.
Fantasy, yes.
We're talking fantasy. When healthy, Anthony Davis is a top 7 player in basketball. I feel that way because I'm taking into account both ends of the court, not just offense. I know he ain't the offensive player Luka is. I'd say he's not Steph Curry. I get all of that.
Yep.
But when you look at what Anthony Davis, when healthy, not can do, Molly, not can do, Jay, he's good for 28 and 12 a night, consistently. That's who he is.
Yeah.
And defensively, healthy, he's good for 2.5 to 3 blocks a game. He's a rim protector. He can defend. He can block shots. He's big time. We keep forgetting that. The problem is, as somebody said to me yesterday, because I had a couple of people calling, getting all over me about this. They said to me yesterday, you do know that Anthony Davis just got hurt opening his closet door, right? That's what they said. That's what they said. That's exactly what they said.
That's wrong.
I won't say who, but that's exactly what they said. They said Anthony Davis just got hurt opening his closet door. So the issue is his durability. I'm saying that's the only question. His durability, because he's injured all the time over the last 2 years. That's it. I don't want to hear anything about Anthony Davis's game, because when the brother is healthy, you could put him against anybody, and he right there with anybody. You understand? Now, here's where I really got a problem. Twofold. No, not really. It's one good, one bad. First of all, I want to thank LeBron James. Clearly, he watched his first take. Appreciate that, bro. Thanks for the love, King James. That's number one. Number two, damn, I didn't like the fact that LeBron tweeted that.
Why not?
What did LeBron tweet last year? Keep the same energy.
Keep the same energy all the way.
Being
old. We old, okay.
Keep the same energy. See, that's what he said going into last season. See, his tweets don't work.
Wait, why does that work for you?
LeBron's tweets don't work.
His tweets work for 4 championships before that.
No.
Keep that same energy.
No, he didn't tweet before the season began, like in the past. I'm just talking about last year, man. Come on, I'm getting on him about last year's tweet. He said, keep the same energy. When people were sitting there, I didn't say that. I thought the Lakers was going to do some things. He sat up there with all the critics, keep the same energy, right? Well, damn it, they kept it. And what did the Lakers do? They folded like a cheap tent. That's what they did, okay? So the fact that he's saying this now, see, the reason I don't like this is because we can't count on Anthony Davis being healthy. I trust his game. I trust Anthony Davis's game. I don't trust his durability. I don't trust that he's going to stay healthy. So when LeBron James says that, it's going to take us all back to, well, you did tell us last year to keep that same energy. You're going to tell us, that's basically what you're telling us now. You know, y'all don't get it twisted, y'all. Anthony Davis, I can't wait till we unleashed. We know what LeBron can do. LeBron was averaging 30 and miserable. It was hard for Jeannie Buss and Rob Pelinka and those people to walk by LeBron James in the building. He was in no mood to talk or be around people because they stunk. And so to me, as great as he is, his greatest attribute was lost last season. His talent wasn't just it wasn't the only component of his greatness. It was his ability to maximize the potential of those around, to get them to give him all they've got. That didn't happen last year. And that's where it becomes interesting. So listen, where do I want to be? Come on, man. We know
you want to be in LA?
You know I'm rooting for LA.
LA, Miami, I get it.
I'm rooting for LA, okay? But I'm worried. When I think about LA, unfortunately, we know who the best team in LA is right now. We do know that, don't we? We do know that. Okay, we ain't doubting that, are we?
It's the Clippers.
Let me tell you something right now. They're fully loaded.
I don't doubt it.
Who said on our show recently they have the best roster in the NBA?
I don't remember. It might have been.
Was it Pat Bev?
I think it was because I said that I like
No, it
LA
wasn't
last
Pat
year.
Bev. He ain't gonna say that about his former team.
No, I think it was Pat Bev.
I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth.
Maybe it could have been him. I don't think so. But I'm telling you right now, the Los Angeles Clippers
I said that, yeah.
are the best team in L.A. A lot of people believe they're going to be the best team in the West because Kawhi and Paul George are going to be healthy. And you look at their crew with the exceptional coaching of Ty Lue, excuse me. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.